definitely are creating balance with giving out chocolate kisses this morning. Hello to all of my peers and the guests in the room today. It's nice to see everybody. Thanks for traveling time with me. And while we travel time with me, the one thing equal to each and every one of us is definitely time. So in traveling through time with me, I was born in New Jersey. I grew up down there in Princeton, New Jersey, very rural. And while we lived in New Jersey, we lived in the country. So because we lived in the country, we actually built a weekend home in the Poconos. In those days, going right to Philadelphia, as our Toastmaster was speaking about, in Philadelphia, New York, New Jersey, many people had community homes where they would go on the weekends and they would travel and they would enjoy time on the weekends. So we would go on the weekends and we would enjoy our memories from the hard work on the weekends in Pennsylvania while we were in New Jersey working hard all week long. I'm gonna go to my next slide here just to share with you that when I wanted to talk about myself, I thought it was only fair that I actually took a survey in my family and friends to see what they had to say about me. Because sometimes you see yourself very differently than other people do. So I will agree with many of the things you're seeing behind me. And the wonderful thing, and if you can't see over here, I apologize, I'll kind of move. The wonderful thing about this is I do love to create memories because they do create balance. And I will go to what our President Karen said with regard to taking photos later in my presentation. For the next 12, if I expand up and I go on to my next 13 to 25, I just talked to you about having our weekend house in the Poconos. We used to motorcycle ride and we would go to the clubhouse and we would play bingo and we would swim. And it was such a great thing to just work all week and then be able to go to the Poconos on the weekends. Very different than what we know as neighborhood living. It truly was like community living, and it was your family away from family. My favorite memories in New Jersey, and you might have seen that on the first side, was that my grandparents and my friends, but I did actually experience a robbery when I was in kindergarten. I kind of skipped over that before I came to this next phase, but I will share with you, while I say that was a favorite memory, it taught me so much, and that may sound crazy, but in tragedy, a lot of times you can learn, and even in what's going on in America today, the criminals were caught, and that's why I share with you that that was one of my New Jersey memories that kind of sticks. I have several that were my weekend memories in the Poconos that stick with me. I also then had my parents, while I said to you they built their home, it took us 4 years to build that house, and once that house was finished, they decided they would switch, and we would keep New Jersey as our weekend home, and we would keep the Poconos as our primary home, because we went on to buy a bar restaurant. We owned that bar restaurant for 20 years. It sat on the Delaware River. It overlooked the Delaware. It was a 1,600 square foot patio bar with a banquet hall that sat 100 people and an inside bar, and it made me so much of who and what I am. Because I got there when I was 12, I went to high school from there, and then I went to college from there, and I went on to go to college in Manhattan and Brooklyn. I have 2 degrees, and I'll take a little sip so I can continue to talk. And then went on into corporate America. I had a great corporate career where I traveled and did lots of things. And then when I went into my next season, I became a homeowner, married, a mother of 1, and I love to take pictures, some 83,000 on my phone. As I said, I will create balance when I am old in my rocking chair looking at all of them, and yes, I do pay for storage. So when you see all of these pictures, that's why, and it was really hard to pick just pictures for this slide presentation, as I will share. But with those hobbies and interests comes lots of sports and creative things that I've done throughout my time. But my son is classically trained in piano, and that's actually one of my real great memories as well. Life after 40 is good. I'm not going to tell you my age because age is only a number. I used to say I have friends 18 to 80, now it's 18 to 90, and maybe even pushing 100. I want to thank everybody for listening to me today. I also want to say I look forward to everybody's presentations and hearing so much more about each and every one of you in the room. And the one thing that is equal, I time lasts into great memories.